Hey everybody, I'm a little late. Let's see if I can't fix this. There we go. Got some technical difficulties going on, but we should be okay. Maybe, hopefully. Let's see here. I'm only a minute late, huh? That's not bad. What's that? No, stop. Here we go. Make sure that we got that I can see the chat and everything's up. Everything's good. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. We will be discussing cancel culture and Jedi philosophy. Originally, I had made a whole video on this where, like our Jedi versus society style. But as I was editing that video, I really felt like the points were a little bit more nuanced than what I was giving them time for. And because I like to keep those videos within a certain area of time, I didn't feel like I was addressing everything that should be addressed in such it's a wild topic. And this way people can have their input and they can talk about it or ask questions as well. Excuse me, if you're here. If not, well, this is a video that you could watch later on and determine for yourself, right? So, let's see where we're at here. So we're gonna still do some of this. Still do some questing. Let's see. Where is our storyline? And of course, if you're here, if you have questions, general chat's always open. You can always say hello. You can always say what's going on. But we are going to get into Jedi versus cancel culture, because really it comes down to our two basic ideas of Jedi philosophy, how we approach things, right? Especially topics that can be a little emotionally charged. Jedi kind of have a advantage there, not because we don't have emotions, right? Let's not misread the Jedi code. But because we do work with our emotions, we are aware of our triggers. We have to put in the work ourselves and understand what affects us, why it affects us. We understand that our emotions are guides to information. Everything tells us a bit about ourselves and tells us how we view the world. And when we get angry or something frustrates us or something of that nature, that's all information about ourselves that we can use to kind of interpret our place and our view of the world. So Jedi are doing that work every day. So it kind of gears us to being able to approach topics like this with an understanding that even if they get emotionally charged, we're good. Oh, who we got? We got some people in the chat. Jedi Ninja Turtle, don't know how long I'll be able to stay on, but wanted to say howdy. OP, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Thanks for, however long. It's good. Thanks for dropping in. I do appreciate it. Zeno, Obi-Wan, hello there, General Kenobi. How you doing, guys? How you doing? It's good to see you. So one of the things that we can talk about with cancel culture, and I think one of the first things we need to really understand is it truly doesn't exist. It's a terminology. It's a buzzword, just meant to kind of encapsulate general outcries, right? But if you look at examples and such of cancel culture, if you're like, oh, this person was canceled, there's no one that's actually been canceled. There's no cancel. If you look at let's go with an older example, such as Harvey Weinstein, right? He was quote unquote canceled, but that's just accountability, right? He was a dude who was doing some really not cool things. He was treating people poorly, and he got away with it for a long time. He abused his position, he abused his power, he abused his privileges, and as such, he got away with it for a very long time, and eventually was held accountable. And that's not canceling anyone. That's just pure. I mean, if a person's garbage we should be calling them out on that, right? That's fairness. That's that, you know. And then if you look at a more recent example, we have the recent, I think the biggest recent example, or the one that's gotten the most news, at least here in the United States, is Dave Chappelle. But Dave Chappelle was paid millions of dollars for his specials, which are still active and still on one of, if not the biggest streaming service worldwide. So that's not canceled. We can't claim that's canceled in any sort of way, even if people are expressing their displeasure and would like to see his stuff removed. Being seen and being given a platform, various platforms, and millions of dollars, that's that's just not being canceled in any sort of way. So those things, it's a buzzword. The closest one that we've had in Star Wars, and we talked about this in a different video, or one of my original videos touching on cancel culture, Jedi versus Society, is that of Gina Carano. And Gina Carano was taken off The Mandalorian mainly because of some remarks that were about comparing being a Republican to that of being Jewish in Germany in the 1930s, which, come on, that's not only is it a leap and the parallels are missing, it's tone deaf, it's all these things, but the reality is that a company, we know Disney wants to have a certain public image, right? And we know that public image is not what's really going on. I mean, the company takes all sorts of corners. They do all sorts of shady stuff, like as companies do. And so we are aware of that, but they have a very keen interest in their public image. And so a lot of their actors, it's why a lot of actors don't want to sign on to big things like Marvel and Star Wars and things of that nature. While those are cool and they're great projects and they're great for your career, when you sign on to a big company like that, they very much will have something to say about your social media presence, about your platform, because they are uplifting your platform. They are introducing you to a broader audience. And then you are tied to the company, so technically you're a face of the company now. And so when you say things that the company does not want its public face to say, you can get fired. That's just capitalism. So if you live in that capitalistic society, we're kind of beholden to companies having that power, where they say you do not represent the face of the company, you have misrepresented it, so we're going to let you go. And whether or not you agree with that, again, that's like a whole other topic on capitalism, the rights of companies and businesses and corporations and things of that nature. That's a whole other discussion. But that's, again, it's not canceling, because why not? Well, Gina Carano still has her Twitter presence. That hasn't been removed. She has her social media, Instagram, all of that platform is still there. So nothing has removed her from her platform. And she has 2 movies in the works. She's already filmed. One's due to come out soon, and the other one got delayed due to an outbreak, I believe, of COVID on set or something of that nature, because of the company she's working with, which is very they're anti-mask, anti-vax kind of people that the movie production is working with. So they didn't have any of those policies in place, and surprise, surprise, there was an outbreak, and which has delayed the shooting of the movie and the post-production. But she does have 2 movies that's coming out. So again, she's getting paid, she's still working, and she still has her platform. So again, it's not canceled. We can't say canceled. And I haven't found any clear example of anything that's been canceled. When we talk about comedy, because again, Dave Chappelle's the big thing. When we talk about comedy, we can still find, like, I can point you where you can find Jerry Lewis specials. I can point you to where you can find Charlie Chaplin movies. I can point you to where you find Tom and Jerry cartoons, right? So there's this idea that, like, so humor, one, should always evolve, right? Humor should always evolve. But even if you are stuck in old school humor and you have not moved past it, you can still find that stuff. It is not gone. It is not erased. It is not quote unquote canceled. It may be limited, but it's still there for everyone to see. So cancel culture is not. It doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist. Now, how does Jedi philosophy and all that tie into it? Hang on, we got some chats here. Jedi Ninja Turtle. There's a semi-substantiated rumor that Gina Carano has been rehired by Disney. If said rumors turn out to be true, how would you personally feel about it? If it turns out to be true, if they do rehire, I'm not sure. I'll wait till I see that one. I'll wait till I see that one, because as I said, Disney has a very company face that they want for their employees to have, and since her firing, she's only been more vocal on the things that were kind of getting her into hot water to begin with. Some of them I didn't find nearly as some of the claims against her I didn't find nearly as credible as the others, like the whole comparing Republicans to Jewish people. That was I mean, I have the screenshots that I did for the video for that one. But how would I feel about it? I wouldn't care. I don't care. I am pretty capable of separating the artist from the art. I really liked the character of Cara Dune. I really enjoyed that character, and I was really hoping to see more. But I think that's something, one, you could easily recast. I don't think that was such, like, I don't think she made that role in such a manner like Robert Downey Jr. made Iron Man. I don't think she like owned it, and I think you could easily recast it with maybe an actress who is maybe more built, but they're an actress first, rather than being an active person, or someone who does MMA or is like a gym rat or something like that, or is into bodybuilding, first, and then trying to get into acting second. I think you could reverse those. I think there's plenty of opportunity to go that way. Whether Disney goes that way, whether they just erase the character, which I think would be a mistake, because again, I think it was a really good character, really good concept, and I think the character resonated with a lot of people. But if they rehire her, then they rehire her. I think there would be stipulations that come with that, and I don't know if she would be willing to do that, because I'm 100% sure in that they would be like, hey, we're going to put in a clause here that if you say things on social media that are outrageous, you have to toe the company line here, right? And again, that's a capitalistic thing, towing company lines, the powers of corporations and things like that. But they do, as of now, they do have the right to do that. So if they do, they do. Like, I'm not going to fight it or hate it or cry about it. Like, whatever. If they do, they do. That's their choice. Personally, I'm for recasting. Why get into the muck? Why continue to, fight it and stuff like that? I don't care that, like, who cares? Like, I don't care what her political leanings are, but I do think, so going back, so this will actually tie into Jedi philosophy and cancel culture. Here's where Jedi philosophy comes in. Empathy, understanding that a Jedi's role is to be a voice for the voiceless, to defend those in need. And so we need to understand when people are struggling with hardcore things, with acceptance, with getting basic human rights, getting, not being denied simple things like the ability for marriage, for medical care, things of that nature. There's groups right now of people who are ostracized, which are not getting the same treatment as everybody else. And so they have a right to, they're struggling enough. Why add to it, right? Like, that's all it comes down to. There's no need to punch down in your comedy. There's no need to point and laugh at others who are already struggling. You know, there's no need to do that. You can create comedy, or you could create art. You could create things that don't punch down or don't ridicule others who are already struggling. We can move beyond that, you know, and we can grow beyond that. So with Jedi, be a voice for the voiceless, right? So we want to uplift people. That's what our path is about. Service, helpfulness, charity, you know, like defense. All these things that we tie into the Jedi are things that encourage us to uplift others and to do things that are not about pointing and laughing at other people, or tearing them down, or being like, oh, you know, this is ridiculous, or comparing it to like a literal genocide, right? Oh, people don't agree with my stance, and they're willing to say that publicly, and there's a lot of people saying that publicly. That's not the same as genocide. It's not, you know, like, that's not even close, you know, and that's not canceling either. That's public opinion. If a lot of people are raising their voices and saying, hey, this stance is not okay, what you're saying is not okay, there's people struggling right now, that's not canceling anyone. That's just the public expressing their opinion. And clearly she has people, you know, going back to Gina Carano as the, you know, source, she has people in her corner who are just as vocal and just as much speaking and such of that nature on them and what they believe is right. And so you just have public opinion shouting off, but no one's actually ever been canceled. And if Gina Carano comes back to Disney and comes back to Star Wars, picks up her character again, that just reaffirms that cancel culture is really not a thing. Is there public outcry? Is the court of public opinion in full swing with social media? Absolutely. But that's something totally different, right? And telling people who are already suffering, who are already struggling, who just want to live life the same as everybody else. They're not looking for special treatment. They're just looking for regular treatment. Telling them to suck it up or to grow thicker skin or stuff like that, that's not helpful, and that's just selfish behavior. Saying, I want to laugh at these, you know, demeaning jokes, so or, you know, things like that. That's very selfish, and again, that goes against our philosophy. We all know that. We all know that Jedi is about the connection, that we feel the Force. We're connected to everything. We're connected to everyone. We are the same elements that make up the universe make us up. We are not special, but at the same time, we are the universe, right? We are the Force. And that's for everybody in existence, whether we agree with them politically or not, right? Like, everybody, we're tied to them, whether we want to be or not. We are the same. We are connected. We are all this person, and we should be seeking to uplift each other and not being that selfish. Like, well, if it hurts you, then, because telling a comedian not to tell specific jokes, that's not hurting anybody. It's not hurting them. They're still getting work. And look, if they can't come up with comedy that isn't about punching down and making fun of people already struggling, when they are not a part of that demographic, when they are not a part of that group, when they are not a part of that struggle, well, come on. Like, that's not hurting them. That's on them. Come on. That's on them, right? So, cancel culture, not there. It's not in our philosophy. It doesn't work with our philosophy. Our philosophy is about uplifting, connection, doing things for people. And I'm still standing here just doing stuff here. Just take care of this guy real quick. So we have this idea of like, oh, you know, they've been canceled. No one's been canceled. Just people are expressing their displeasure, which people are allowed to do, right? People are allowed to express their displeasure. But at the same time, we have to empathize. We have to understand the plight and the struggle of people that we might not understand their plight and struggle. You know, we're not a part of that demographic. We're not a part of that struggle. But when they speak up and they say, hey, this stuff's happening, we can listen. we can listen. It's the least we can do. We can listen. We can support. That's what Jedi do. We don't have to be the voice in the room. We don't have to be we don't have to be taking up space, but we can certainly listen. We can certainly support. And when they say, hey, this is damaging to what we're trying to do here, we can respect that as well. We can understand that and be like, all right, so this is damaging. This isn't helping. And it doesn't hurt anybody if it's not available. If Disney chooses not to, if they just choose to do away with the Cara Dune character and that's it, she's gone, she's killed off, whatever, yeah, that sucks, because people really did like that character, but it doesn't take away anything, because that character still exists in 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. There's other media where the character exists, and of course as a cosplayer, you can cosplay that character. It doesn't matter how long a character's around, right? Like, that character's canon. It's Disney canon. It's Star Wars canon. That character's there. It's cemented. It's done. So you can cosplay that character as much as you like, and you're good. And you're good to go. And understanding that cosplaying the character doesn't tie you to the actress. And separating those things are important. And having that ability to make that distinction is important. Again, nothing's canceled. Those characters are done. It's there. It's kind of like when they got rid of Legends, or Disney made the extended universe Legends. A lot of people threw a fit about that, as if the word canon somehow, and Legends, changing it from, book canon to Legends, somehow changed its availability. But all of that stuff, those comics, those books, those things are all still available. They're all still out there. You can still read them. You can still participate in them. So this idea that they were gone and they were removed, and they're still there. If you love them, if you enjoy them, they haven't gone anywhere, right? They're still there. Like we've talked about on the other stream with Knights of the Old Republic coming back. That makes it a part of Disney canon. They've okayed that, right? Because they've allowed that to happen. So we now have the story, however they so choose to change it, but we have the story of Revan and Malik and Bastila all coming back and being a part of that canon. But that doesn't change like the enjoyment of the original Revan, Bastila, Malik. That original story with Zalbar and all that, that's still there. That still can be enjoyed, and that's still something that you can have fond memories of or make new memories of. Like, nothing is removed, and no one can take stuff away from you. Nothing's being removed. There's no book burning going on. There's nothing like that, right? And even if there is, even if they were going in that far, which one? Again, Jedi are going to go against that. Why? There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. So Jedi are going to seek to protect knowledge, right? So Jedi aren't here, and they're not there. People try to take these topics and they try to make you one thing or the other, right? Well, if you're not this, then you're that, and if you don't agree with this, then you're automatically that. And it's like, Jedi aren't there. We aren't there. We're outside of all of that. We're outside of those circles. We're not the Venn diagram, man. We're the ones looking at the Venn diagram. We are the ones that are looking at your little circles and your bubbles and your little cliques and your little labels and being like, all right, well, this one's got a point, and there's a point over there, and if we take these and we put them together, then we have something. That's the Jedi way. We're not beholden to anything. All right, where are we at? I missed some of the chat. Here we go. Jedi Ninjas, agreed. I have to separate in my mind many characters from actors that portray them. Tom Cruise being one. yeah. Tom Cruise is a great example of enjoying. I'm still a fan of Mission Impossible 2. Like, I really love Mission Impossible. I know most people don't, but I really love that movie. Like, it's one of my favorite movies. And yeah, it's just such a Tom Cruise. What he did to I have trouble forgiving him. The one thing I won't forgive is what he did to the Mummy franchise and the Dark Monster universe that Universal was supposed to set up. Just trash that, man. I was not happy. John Smith, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good night. Hey, John Smith. Likewise. In regards to politics, it's my personal belief that if we were walking the Jedi path, it's best to really not invest in politics, but rather injustices in general. So, yes and no. Like, that's more treating. Like, I get that. I get that stance for sure. Uh, but that would be treating the symptom rather than treating the cause. Like politics, like origins of government, right? That is what will create or remove your injustices. So by taking a hands off of politics and being like, well, I'm not going to get involved, I'm just going to help the people who suffer from the politics, that's missing a big key step, right? Like, that's missing one. And I get it, right? Especially if you live in the United States right now, politics is stupid because it's a two-party system. So if you're not one, you're the other, and it's like, ugh. What are we, red and blue? Really? That's what. Why do we even have voting polls anymore? Why don't we just have two buttons, huh? And we all stand in line and just walk up and press red or blue. Why don't we just do that, huh? And then that way, everybody's checked in, and that way you don't even have to worry about ballots. You just have a big number thing that tells you who's pressing what. There you go. You have to scan your face. It has to match your ID. There you go. Boop, boop. You get to choose right. That seems like where we're headed. Like, two-party system is stupid, and we need to. It needs to be dismantled. It needs to be getting rid. We need to get rid of it because we need to address like issues. Our people said, let's address, and I agree with that. Like, as Jedi, we need to address that, but at the same time, we can't ignore what creates those injustices, and that does go back to the society we live in and the power we give to people to manage that society. Culture is not immutable, right? We can change it, and one of our big things is what you allow will continue. So as long as we allow people with a hands-off approach, as long as we allow people to create injustice, you're always going to be trying to patch it up. That's like, it's kind of like, a person with a knife who cuts you, and you bandage your arm, and you're like, all right, I've taken care of that. And then they come back later and they cut you again. You're like, all right, I've taken care of that. You're not really like, yeah, you're taking care of the wound and you're fine and you're healing up, but the person's going to come right back. So you kind of have to deal with that. And it's the unfortunate society and reality, and it really sucks. And I agree, it's not really the Jedi mandate to get involved with that, but our philosophy does. Our philosophy is about service. It is about helping other people. It is about, being a voice for the voiceless, and defending those in need, and helping people in that regard. Again, we're all connected. We're all about uplifting one another, like everyone. It's about everyone getting up to the same level, right? It's not about lifting one up and pushing one down. It's not about that. It's all about everybody coming together, everybody getting to the same table and eating the same food. We want everyone up there. But unfortunately, because our philosophy advises that, both fictionally and through Jediism and things like that, because our philosophy advises that unfortunately means we often have to get involved in the stupidity and the quagmire that is policy. I'm not saying you have to go be a politician, or you have to learn policy, or you have to read the news every day, but certainly, and I get it, but there's an idea that we have to at least be a voice for change, right? We at least have to support those that are trying to change things for the better, and again, and I think that's regardless of party. It doesn't matter if they're red or blue, or what little shiny color they want to, what kind of lightsaber color they want to hold. It's more about, all right, are you doing something to actually help people? Okay, then all right, man, like let's do that. Are you doing things to uplift society and change our culture and bring our culture to a closer understanding that, look, we're all people, and every single person struggles with something, and we just want everybody to the same level, right? And I keep doing this. I keep standing here. It's just about uplifting. And I don't think we should listen to political parties. I don't think it's about being Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. I don't think it's about any of that. I think it's about what is a person doing? What is their stance? And are they actually going to help this thing? And what can we do to minimize the corruption? And what can we do? And you know, when you look at it, it's a huge thing. It's a huge topic. It's a huge endeavor. The idea that we are capable of changing it in our lifetime can seem insane and just not possible and not worth the effort and all this stuff. And that's all fair. Like, that's all fair to feel that way. But if we are going to be Jedi, then we do have to kind of we have to be willing to fight the bigger system. We have to fight the system that's causing pain and causing injustice, so that we are not continually bandaging ourselves up, waiting for the next attack to happen. Which is just, fortunately or unfortunately, where our philosophy takes us. But I agree that Jedi technically speaking, or all of that, or like mandate wise or philosophy wise, technically our philosophy is not about getting involved in politics. It's not about that. It's not about any of that, and it shouldn't be. But we do find ourselves in society and a culture right now, especially if you live, probably, maybe, like, especially if you live in the United States. That's just unfortunately the time period and the culture we have found ourselves in, where we can't really separate the politics from the things that we are trying to fight and trying to uplift. The more that I want to uplift people, the more that I want everyone to do good, the more that I want everyone to do better, regardless of anything. I want, like, everybody in a good spot. Again, like, we're all connected, right? As much as I want that, as much as I want to help people get there, I can't ignore the people who are actively striving against that, and the people that they promote and put into power and things of that nature, and the politics, their politics. I can't avoid their politics. Like me, I'm not a political person, but I can't avoid when you try to change culture, when you try to change things of that nature, you can't avoid the politics, because you can't avoid their politics, because they're going to bring them in. And so you still have to face them, and you still have to deal with them, even if you don't want to. Even if it's the last thing you want to do, you still have to put up with their nonsense, their political stance, their political ideology. You still have to face it. And, like, I mean, I would love to see it all go down and us have something way different in place. Well, not even way different. I really feel like you could take society and you could take concepts that have been floated throughout years, throughout all of human history, and you can bring them together. You could meld them. Like, you could mix and match concepts. Like, capitalism and socialism are not oil and water, right? You can blend those concepts together easily and still have a very functioning society, high functioning society, that's not built off of solely free market, and that's not built off of solely like a socialist or communist lifestyle. You can take these concepts and you can say, this one works, and if we put it with this, these things work. We can meld things together, and we've already seen that in the United States. You see that a bit with concepts of like Social Security and things of that nature. There's concepts within there that harken back to socialist concepts, but that there's still capitalistic concepts involved as well. Like, mixing and matching is not. I don't know why humans are afraid of it. I don't know why a lot of cultures like stay away from it. I have no idea why the United States has always been against it. Like, this idea of blending concepts. But it just seems that way. You know, you look throughout history and stuff like that. But you can pick and choose. There's no one saying you can't pick and choose, right? And I think it's something like we see in Jedi. I think Jedi are more susceptible to it and more able to see that and understand that, because when we're talking about spirituality, we're not stuck in a system. The Jedi were created. The Jedi in Star Wars were created from George Lucas, pulling from different ideas, philosophies, religions, pulling things and putting them together. And then other writers, authors, game developers, creators also were picking and choosing when they developed the fictional Jedi. And then Jedi, as we were growing in the mid to late 90s, and then throughout the 2000s, when we were discussing our philosophy and we were trying to put it together, what were we doing? We're pulling from these different concepts as well. We're looking into those things. Does this work? Does that work? Where can we fill our holes from, right? Because the Star Wars Jedi is an incomplete concept. You can't just take that and have a hole. We had to develop our own stuff through years and years of experience, right? I have decades of experience living and studying and training in the Jedi philosophy and the Jedi path, and through that we're able to build the holes. That's why we have now the Jedi Circle and the Jedi Method and things of that nature, is because we are able to fill in the gaps. But again, like, as we were growing, what were we doing? We were looking at different things, like, well, what works over here? What works over here? Is this a concept that we can really hold to everybody, right? A Jedi is very encompassing. We're very encouraging. We're very, like, hey, everybody come in. We're inclusive, right? So you can't hold like solely a Buddhist view of like vegetarian, or you can't hold a solely view of veganism, right? Because everybody has different dietary needs. There's conditions out there that just won't allow that thing to happen, right? So medical conditions, I mean to say, that just won't allow someone to have a certain diet. Likewise, there's medical conditions that force a person to have a certain diet. Everybody's born differently. Everybody has different physical needs and capabilities. So you can't just develop a singular martial arts practice and that's that. Every Jedi does Taekwondo. You can't do that, right? You can't do that. So we pick and we pull and we say, what's this? What's that? How does this work? How does that work? And we pull it together. And in that, we're able to see, and we can do the same thing culture-wise. We can do the same thing society-wise. We can do the same thing politically. We could do the same thing with capitalism and socialism and all that stuff. We could pick and choose our isms and take a little from this and little column A, little column B, little column C. And let's create something new. Let's create something better. Let's create something that works for everyone. I mean, you're never going to get the perfect system, right? But at the same time, you can be like, are we uplifting everybody else? Are we uplifting people and making sure that we all have the equal opportunities we should? Are we making sure that human life is respected? Like, and without getting spiritual, without getting metaphysical, no one asked to be born, yet we're all here. So we should be supporting life. Water, food, shelter, these things should be ours. These things should be the price of being alive and being a part of a country and all of that. And because we're alive. That's it. We're here. We're on this planet. We're a part of the universe. We're a part of the world. We're a part of everything. So let's enjoy it. Let's not have to stress about the basic needs, right? Let's let people and creativity and innovation take the realm. Let that be the focus, not the grind and not the 40-hour work week and not any of that, but like, let's see where humanity can go when humanity is given a bit more freedom from the daily stresses of life. Prior generations have worked really, 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 really hard, sacrificed a lot to get us to this point. And we are at this really crazy point in human history where we want for nothing. We have everything, right? I mean, think about all the media we have: comic books, stories, streaming, TV, radio, everything, books, video games, all of it, right? We have all these different medias and all these different things to enjoy, as well as create, as well as, partake in all this stuff. And human history has never had all these as much as we have now in that regards. There's been times with newspapers, there's been times with books, there's been times with paintings, there's been times with radio, but from movies to books, I mean, we have it all right now, and who knows what new mediums we'll uncover in the future, and we should be embracing that and enjoying that and saying, hey, we've achieved a lot. Now we need to start making sure it's sustainable. We need to start planning for the future, and we need to start making sure that people can enjoy this and create more of it, and uplift humanity as a whole. Let us really be children of the universe. Let us really be, let us really do that. And that's possible. It's there. It's possible. We can do that. It's not outside the realm of impossibility. But of course, in order to do that, there's some big obstacles there. And a lot of that follows to politics, unfortunately, right? That's not, again, you're right, where being a Jedi isn't about being political. You're absolutely right in that. But in what we do, we're going to have to face politics, unfortunately. And it shouldn't be that way, but that's where it is. And I'm off on a rant. Sorry. Where are we at? Do. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Jedi Ninja Turtle. Yeah, I agree. Like, not being in bed with politicians, not idolizing them, not putting them up. I don't like the AOC, like, cult following just as much as I don't like the Mitch McConnell cult following. Like, all of that stuff. Like, I don't like any of it. I don't like the Trump cult following. I don't like the Biden following. Like, no. Like, none of these people are here to help you. None of these people have proven themselves to want to help the common person. So yeah, I agree with you. Idolizing politicians is absurd. It's absurd. Until they actually do something that actually uplifts humanity. I mean, come on. They're just playing their political games, and they're doing it for their own favor and their own game. It doesn't help us. So I agree with you 100%. John Smith, oddly enough, I read about this while reading Shatterpoint. Shatterpoint, such a good book, right, dude? Oh, it deals with so much, too. Yeah, alright, cool. I'm about to go on a rant on that. A system without justice is inherently unstable, and that's true. And I think we're seeing that throughout the world, but also in the United States. The more we try to walk away from justice, the more it's just not going to work out. It's just not. We have to, yeah, if you want civilization to grow and to evolve, you have to care about all the people in that civilization. And you have to uplift everybody. You can't just, we're going to uplift the elite. Get out of here. Who's elite? What defines that? A pocketbook off of a made-up financial system? Go home, man. By the way, Shatterpoint is great for learning about the Jedi. It absolutely is. It's one of my biggest recommended books. We have a video here on the channel where I did the top 5 Star Wars fictional books. Star Wars, so of course it's fictional. But the top 5 Star Wars books that explore Jedi philosophy, and Shatterpoint is number 1 on that list because it absolutely, and more to the point, it's about Jedi philosophy with boots on the ground, with your hands in the muck, right? It's about Jedi being in it and how the philosophy is meant to be lived, not just a concept of meditation in a quiet temple somewhere, but how does Jedi philosophy pertain when you're in a dark and dangerous situation, which I think is something we can all kind of relate to right now. Again, regardless of anything, regardless of how any of us identify, we're all feeling in a state of change. We're all feeling in a state of uncertainty, and we're all in a state of not feeling particularly safe. I don't think anyone feels particularly safe, except for the people that are untouched. Like the billionaires, they're fine. They're playing just the tip with space. So what do they care, right? But the rest of us, the people who are down in the muck, the people of us, just trying to survive every day, just trying to live, we're all kind of in this area of uncertainty. The past 2-3 years has really been that. 2020 really, brought a lot of things to light that were just bubbling under the surface. But even before that, the years leading up to that, we saw like a lot of civil unrest and stuff in it. And so when you're there and you're like, how does Jedi philosophy relate to me now, like actively? I don't need to know Jedi philosophy, how it relates meditation wise, or when things are great and things are grand and I'm a Jedi master and I'm at peace because everything's at peace. It's about, no, things are not at peace, things are bad. How do we apply that, and how do we apply it to a bigger system? I 100% agree with you, John Smith. Shatterpoint is just a great book for Jedi philosophy exploration. I lost a follower over that because they were adamant that the book was garbage and didn't have any Jedi philosophy in it whatsoever. And I straight up was like, you're wrong. And we got into it, and they chose to walk away. But, hey, can't save everybody. Samuel Chewy. I can't. I'm bad at pronunciation, so I'm gonna just go with Chewy, if that's okay, because I like that. Is there an audiobook of that book of Shatterpoint? Yes, there is an audiobook of Shatterpoint. My friend, he cosplays Mace Windu, which is great. He's part of Rebel Legion, and he's really wants to get back out to go into the conventions and go into to the marches and stuff like that, go into the kids' hospitals. Like, these past couple of years where they haven't been able to do that, he's really looking forward to getting back out with the Rebel Legion. But anyways, point being, he's sight impaired, and so he couldn't read the book. But I was like, man, you got to read this book. So he got the audio version for it, and he's been going through it. So there is an audiobook version of Shatterpoint. I know that for sure, 100%. I'm not 100% on where you can get it, though. I think it might be on Audible or something of that nature. But again, I'm not 100% on that. I know there's free services where you can get a library card. If you have a library card, a local library card, you can go to a specific website that has like almost like a huge thing of audiobooks that you can listen to through their website. And I don't have that information. If you Google it, you'll find it. Library card audiobooks for free. It's gonna come up. You'll find it. That's also an option in case for everybody. That's an option. You can there is a site, an organization out there that offers that with a library card. You just have to have a library card, which if you don't have one, I recommend go down to your local library. Doesn't take too much to get a library card. Go pick it up, and one, you can read books in the library, which is always cool, and two, libraries offer a variety of services, so you never know when you might need those. Excuse me, sorry about that. And then three, you can use this other service for the audiobooks, and you can check that out. So what's for that? Jedi Ninja, apologies, but I have a very off-topic question. Sure. I've been meaning to ask for a while. I just rewatched American Jedi on Tubby. And where did you get that robe you're showing in at the end of the film? Oh, right. Hey, that's fine. Hang on a second. We're standing here. So you're right. In American Jedi, towards the end, we did. I put on my Jedi robes that I have. I also ran a Spartan race in those exact same Jedi robes, believe it or not. In those exact same Jedi robes, I ran a Spartan race, and that didn't make the film. Mainly because the photographer couldn't run with me, I guess. Actually, he could have. We discovered too late he could have, but yeah. So. But Jedi and their stickler for rules and stuff like that. Anyways, point being, where did I get it? I got it off of some. I don't remember the specific site. It was. Oh no, I remember. The specific site was eBay. I went to eBay, and I got it from eBay. It was yeah, it was. Oops, I'm gonna go tackle those people first. I went to eBay, went looking for Jedi robes, and found one that, you have to really read the description on what you're getting and what kind of material they use. And the Jedi robe that I got's a very heavy one. I have it right over here. It's not the same anymore. It's all ripped up. The Spartan race really ripped it up. But I cut off the sleeves. One, because like after you've run a Spartan race in Jedi robes, you'll really understand how impractical they are. And if you think about the Jedi in Star Wars and the active lifestyles, you just realize that those clothes are really just impractical and not functional at all. And especially, wielding a lightsaber and stuff like that. I don't see how any costume designer was like, oh yeah, this is what Jedi would have wore as an order. I'm like, no. Humble and functional, which is the concept behind Jedi robes, I get those ideas, right? You want to blend in with the travelers of the universe and you want to keep it humble and functional, cool. But you're talking about people who, one, swing around a laser sword, and two, are, have the potential to get really active where they have to run, jump, do all this, active stuff, climbing, hiking, whatever. And I just think that there's better outfits that would be more form-fitting, or at least not as flowy. I know flowy looks cooler, but yeah. So I've adjusted my Jedi stuff that I do for like the immersion role plays and things of that, and my own cosplay. I've adjusted mine to be a bit more, in line and stuff like that. But I got mine I got that particular one off of eBay. But that was years ago. You're talking years ago. I bought that back in 2007. That particular robe, I got back in 2007. So, but yeah, and I have like a bunch since. I have a bunch of different other ones since. But it was a complete set. Like it wasn't like halved. Like I've seen the new ones that are really clean, but they're like the tabards are only half. They're like sewn into the shoulders and stuff like that. The one I got off of eBay was very layered, each, piece, and it was, and the robe was a heavier material. It was a heavier quality. So, so yeah, that's where I got it. Was eBay. From who and where exactly, I don't remember. Like I said, that was like 2007. But yeah. And for those interested, yeah, American Jedi still out there. There are questionable scenes in the thing that aren't, they took liberties, they took storytelling liberties. So if you watch it, you might have questions. Feel free to ask me. What's up, babe? What you doing? What you got there? So yeah. So thanks. Yeah, you can always go off question. Heck, that's a better way to stop me from rambling for like 2 seconds. Stop me from going off on my tangent about trying to usurp the United States government and creating a more humble and functional society. Combining a bunch of isms together and doing away with everything, keeping things the same while fundamentally changing them for the better, right? For everybody. Everybody needs to sit at the table. Chewy, I'll search for it. Thank you. No problem at all. No problem at all, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you asked, because not everybody might know that you can get the audiobook for Shatterpoint and where to get it. And also that service, is important for people to know about as well, about getting the library card and stuff like that. And if you have a library card, you might be able to just check out the book as well. But again, if, for sight impaired and stuff like that, audiobooks are available for sure. 100%. Jedi Ninja Turtle, I just really love the look of the material on that robe. It's a nice, I'm not even sure what they used, but it's nice. It's got a nice stiffness to it. So when you're like running or meditating or whatever, the flow of it is really nice. It sits well, like it's got some weight to it, and the way the hood sits up on it. No, it's actually a really good robe. You know, I wonder if there's a tag on it that says who made it. Maybe I'll look. I'll see what it is. Yes, very impractical. My own robe has a shorter arm length and is shorter altogether lengthwise, more akin to a samurai overcoat. To a samurai overcoat. Yeah, yeah, I've made adjustments as well. Like I think you have to. I think everybody who's done that has done that. You know, unless you're cosplaying specifically, like I said, my friend cosplays Mace Windu, and so his costume's very screen accurate. What's going on? Why are you kicking out? What are we doing here? What are we doing? We got it? We back? What the heck? Okay. But yeah, I think unless you're cosplaying like within the 501st Rebel Legion, Saber Guild, stuff like that, where they have like specifications and qualifications and movie accurate stuff, I think everybody who's made Jedi robes have been like, okay, we're gonna have to change some stuff here. Like, if I wear my Jedi robes and I'm like actually wearing them out or anything, I don't wear like the karate gi or the whatever pants, right? Like I don't wear those kind of pants. I wear brown carpenter pants that so they match. So, but again, humble and functional, man. They got pockets, you know. Why? Yeah, everything should have pockets because very useful utility. So I made changes to all sorts of that because Jedi robes are they're ridiculous. Don't recommend running a Spartan race in them. Even the costume variety, I ran one in the costume variety as well. Also ridiculous. Also just doesn't work. So, all right, let's. I'm probably gonna wrap this up soon. How long have we been here? A long time. Wait. About an hour. We're coming up on an hour. So that's about. I kind of want to keep these things with. I don't even want to really go to an hour, but I'm gonna keep it within the hour. So let's talk to this guy, this Imperial Assassin, and we'll talk to them, and we'll do that. And we'll move on, and then we'll wait till next time. And maybe we'll actually explore the philosophy, that the game has, rather than just me yakking at you, standing in a hallway, dreaming of a better society and a better future. Alright. Let's talk to this guy. What do we got?
That's enough bloodshed. Let's be professional about this.
Sure.
I am Watcher 1 with Imperial Intelligence. Those men you fought served me.
People always want to be professional after the fact. Just like got into a debate on comedy and cancel culture. And people wanted to try to take the high road on that and start being like, oh well, I don't talk down to people. I don't care about the sound of my own voice. I'm not here for that. And it's like, dude, you're exactly here for that. What? Like being like, prove me wrong. Okay, here's all the ways you're wrong. And then being like, well, you're very uppity, man. You're acting all full of yourself. And it's like, no, man. I just did what you asked. You asked me to prove you wrong. I proved you wrong. That's not me being uppity. You had your assassins here to kill people. I defended. That's not being unprofessional, huh? Now you want to be professional. Now you want to talk. Diplomacy was an option from the beginning. You chose otherwise. Alright. What do we have? If you do end up looking at the tag on yours, let me know what you find. I'd love to purchase it and modify it myself. Absolutely. I'll take a look at it and let you know. I was going to go over, because it's over there somewhere. I was going to go take a look right now, but let's do this. And I'll just have to make a note of it and get that to you.
How did you find out about this operation so quickly?
Despite what General SWTOR believes, I've known about this outpost for some time. Your imminent arrival forced me to take action. My mission is to protect the Empire from Dr. Gadara's weapons. I'm afraid I can't let you have him.
Let's be real here.
Don't insult my intelligence. The Empire only wants to destroy the Republic.
Believe what you will. Imperial
How many times
intelligence
have we heard that
prides
kind of
itself
stuff
on
in
accurate
debates?
threat assessment. I've known you were coming, analyzed your strengths and weaknesses in preparation. You defeated the fallen Jedi Bengal Moore to become a knight.
That is
You're
correct.
an exemplar of your order.
Yeah, that might be a little high praise. Infiltrated Tython? Probably. But, one, that's not our problem, but you know he's not going to say something nice about it. What else we got? Don't let him get to you, and we don't know that. Yeah, we don't know that. Like, it's a mind game. But yeah, he does know that information, so he got it from somewhere. Where, who, what? We don't know. We don't know. So, like, it doesn't matter. I'm kind of keen on this one. Like, don't let him get to you. Don't even worry about it. It's also, yeah, that's not our problem. These are all true. But we're just going to point out the obvious. We don't know that.
He could have acquired this information from any number of sources.
Yep.
The point is, I have it.
That is
As fortune would have it, Dr. Gadara will be in my custody shortly. You've already failed.
You won't get away with this. Come on, man. That's not even a... Was that supposed to hurt me? That's, like, out of it. Come on. That's weak. Not while I'm still standing. Give him that Jedi bravado.
The Force is with me. I'll find Dr. Gadara, and you.
I see my reinforcements are finally in position.
Oh,
Terminate him.
sure. Thought we were going to be professional about this. Alright, there we go. There we go. Chewy. Like my new friend, I met in a friend's Discord. It's always good to make new friends. Discord seems a great tool for people for this for internet culture these days. Seems to be a great tool for people to stay connected, meet new people, meet friends. Again, whether we're talking, society, Jedi organizations, you personally, right, with your personal relationships, or Discord server, what you allow will continue. You got to build that culture. So if you can build a Discord, if you're on a Discord server that has built a good culture, that has really set the rules of what they allow and what they will confront, when you have those set lines and can build a good culture that way, you're bound to meet new people, and you're bound to meet people that you can talk with, identify with, even if you don't agree on everything, but you can talk with them and identify with them and understand them and have conversations and grow with people. So that's important. That's good. All right, let's talk to Remo.
Blasted imps. Death is too good for them. Thank you for liberating this facility. Good riddance to imp scum.
Good riddance to imp scum. Also, Opie fact for you, a little trivia. I had a dog named Remo at one point. That's an awful thing to say. You're my kind of droid. Well, remember, knowledge is what we're about, so we seek information.
Are you one of Dr. Gadara's droids? What happened here?
My designation is REM0. Dr. Gadara assigned me to this facility. Primary function, enemy surveillance. The facility was compromised when Republic cowards arrived on Terrace, and again by these imp scum.
Let's see. I know you're about to sign off, so good day, Opie, and everyone else in the chat. Until next time, have a good day, Jedi Ninja Turtle. Yeah, I'm just gonna wrap up this conversation, and then I'll be signing off, and we'll end the stream there because I've gone over my hour mark by quite a bit. So I will be signing off here really, really shortly, and yeah. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you here and having conversations and having a chit chat. And everyone else, thank you for joining. I'll get that out of the way now. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for being here, whether you were active in the chat or not, whether you watched this video later on or not. Do appreciate you being here, joining us, and listening to me just like get on my soapbox. So appreciate it. Chewie, you too, Jedi. Indeed, indeed. Alright, let's see. Republic cowards. Tell me all you know or else. Yeah, that's not a Jedi response, man. Jedi aren't about threatening, Jedi are about doing. So, we don't threaten. It's not part of the Jedi philosophy. Republic cowards seems like a information thing, but it's an irrelevant information. It's not anything that's going to help us as we try to move forward in the missions. His terminology is his own terminology. So we're not going to do that. We need to get to the point and find people. That's it. Jedi is about solutions and moving forward and all that stuff. So what can we do now to move forward? What's the next step?
Your maker is in danger. Can you tell me where he is?
My programming forbids cooperation with non-Gadara life forms, except under extreme circumstances. That criteria is now met. Watcher 1 reprogrammed this facility's tracking relays. He traced Dr. Gadara's encrypted bioscan to its present location.
Then we'll do the same.
If it worked for Watcher 1, it'll work for us.
The imp scum destroyed the central computer, hoping to prevent this. I must repair it while you reset the outdoor tracking relays. I will provide you with the tracking relay's coordinates, but be advised, the outdoors are dangerous.
You fix the computer, and I'll reset the tracking relays.
Boom,
Jedi
cooperation.
were never included in Dr. Gadara's Republic coward designation. Now I comprehend why. Commencing computer repairs. Contact me when all tracking relays are reset. Then we can triangulate Dr. Gadara's location. If you
Sounds
encounter
good.
any imp scum, please annihilate them. How you handle Republic cowards is your discretion. Good luck, Jedi.
Good luck. Jadon Smith. It's been great. I look forward to the next one. One of these days I'll have to join a Jedi group. Thanks for joining us. You can join this Jedi group. I mean, I know it's not official or anything, but and hey, if you want official, you can always grab one of our books, right? But thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. It is appreciated, and hopefully next week we'll be right here. Maybe same bat time, maybe same bat channel. We'll see what we do. You never know. But thank you everybody for being here. I do appreciate it. I am gonna end the stream here, and but I appreciate you all being here. You know where the buttons are. May the force. Wait. Before I say that, let me get over here. Okay. Now, may the force be with you.